The story begins with a spaceship, which was falling down from space at a very high speed, and then we see that the spaceship had fallen into a pond. After this, two human-like people came out of the spaceship, wearing space suits. One man dragged his unconscious companion out and then went to sleep himself, after which he started to see a glimpse of the life he had spent on his planet. After some time, when he opened his eyes, he saw that his unconscious companion had a terrible wound on his chest due to which he had died. Then he heard a voice from his computer in the pond. He immediately took out the computer and tried to find out the information about this place from it. Then he found out the location of the other spaceships, but the computer told him that there was no other spaceship nearby at the moment. Now, he became a little disappointed. Well, then he sent a wire from the computer to his eye, after which all the history of this planet, its people, animals, languages, and all the information about living conditions entered his mind. After this, he took out his gun and started practicing shooting. Then in the evening, he dug a grave for his dead friend and buried him. Now this man's mission was to get out of this dense forest safely with the help of his gun and return to his planet. After walking for a long time, he came across the dead body of a huge whale, and he understood that this work was not done by any human being. He saw that he had reached a village, but that entire village was completely destroyed in some terrible accident. Then he realized that someone was keeping an eye on him, and he immediately ran away. But soon a horseman was after him. He attacked this man and made him unconscious. Along with that, his gun also fell into the river. Now this man was taken prisoner in an unconscious state and brought to the village of Vikings, which was surrounded by wooden walls from all sides. After this, we see the king of this village, Rutger, who was practicing sword fighting with his daughter Freya. During this time, Freya told her father that she would never marry Wulfric. Then suddenly Freya's shoulder got hurt by mistake. The king bandaged it. Then Wulfric came there, but after listening to his strange words, Freya did not stay there for long and went out. Well, then Wulfric informed the king that there has been a terrible attack on the nearby village. The whole village is covered in blood, but they did not find a single dead body there. After this, they caught a man, but he does not seem to be from this area. Then we see that the man was made a prisoner and made to stand in front of the whole village, and everyone was laughing and watching the spectacle. Well, then Wulfric dragged that man into the room for interrogation. When Wulfric asked his name, the man said that his name was Keenan. Keenan lied to him and said that he had come from the north to hunt dragons. But no one believed him, because they thought that Keenan was responsible for the destruction of the neighboring village. Now Keenan tried to escape from there, but the Vikings were very powerful. Later, when he was captive alone, he tried to break his chains with a very hot iron rod. But Freya arrived there. On the other hand, the king asked Wulfric about Keenan, but Wulfric told him that he had not got any specific information. Then the king asked him to find Gunnar, the king of the destroyed village, so that he could convince him that we had no hand in the attack on their village. Wulfric was not ready for this at all because, yes, he had reached there, and since then he has been creating havoc everywhere. Hearing this, the villagers were ready to hang Keenan, because he was the reason for such a big problem on earth. But the king somehow stopped them. Then Keenan understood that the Vikings would definitely go to hunt Morvan to protect their people. So he requested the king that he also wanted to go with them to catch Morvan. The king agreed to this, and as soon as he came out, suddenly Freya punched him and took revenge of last night. Well, after this, they all went out of the village to find Morvan. Then on the way, the king started talking to Keenan. He said that if they did not stop Morvan right now, then the same situation will happen here as happened on Keenan's planet. Then Wulfric informed everyone that many dead bodies have been found around, He said they said that they should look for Morvan in different directions by forming small groups. But Kenan said that it is better to stay together. But the king did not agree and said that two people will go in different directions. When the king and the commander named Boromir went on their way, suddenly a horse's severed head fell in front of them. The other soldiers found rotten corpses outside a cave, and then a horrifying scene came in front of them. They heard someone screaming from the cave. The rest of the army also reached there, and they all immediately entered the cave, where they encountered a savage bear. The whole cave was filled with heaps of corpses. These were the people of the Sam destroyed village. So everyone thought that this bear must be behind all this. They attacked the bear, and finally Kenan killed him with his sword. Then the king, pleased with Kenan's bravery, gave him his sword, released from captivity. After this, in the evening, the whole village celebrated the bear's death. Kenan also joined the celebrations dressed like ordinary villagers. On seeing him, everyone welcomed him with open arms, and the king made him sit with them and fed him. Then the Sam poor child appeared in front of Kenan, who had given Kenan a share of his bread. To return his favor, Kenan gifted him his sword. Then he asked the child's name. He said that his name was Eric and his parents had died in a battle. That's why now all the villagers together took care of him. After some time, Wulfric challenged Kenan in a game. Then some soldiers sat down with shields on their heads, and the players had to reach the end by walking on the shields kept on their heads. Poor King stumbled many times and fell on the Boromir, but Wulfric did not make fun of him. Rather, he was given a reward. He stood up by giving his hand. Finally, after the celebration was over, Kenan came out of the hall and Freya came to meet him. She thanked Kenan because he had accompanied Freya's father on the mission in the forest. But Kenan said that the truth is that the animal that killed people was Morvan and not a bear, and he can come back anytime. Then suddenly we see that Gunnar's army attacked their village. There was a fierce sword fight from both sides in which Kenan and Freya also joined, and they killed many enemies. Meanwhile, Gunnar had surrounded the king and was about to finish him off when Kenan saved the king's life at the last moment. Now, before a fierce fight could take place between Kenan and Gunnar, Gunnar's soldiers pulled him back because they knew that Gunnar would not get a dick in front of Kenan. Before leaving, Gunnar abusing the king, Freya blamed him for the destruction of her village. Well, after the battle was over, Freya told Kenan everything about Gunnar. Many years ago, when Wulfric's father was the king, he planned to attack France by gathering all the nearby villages. But Gunnar did not reach there on time, due to which he was considered a traitor, and since then, enmity started between the two villages. After this, we see that Gunnar and his army was sitting in a forest. It was revealed that today they had come to take revenge by attacking Wulfric many years ago. But as soon as a soldier went a little distance to relieve himself, Morvan suddenly came out of the pond and killed the soldier brutally. Gunnar and his army felt that Wulfric was behind this attack. Within moments, Morvan killed many soldiers, and in the end, only Gunnar was left standing in front of him. He decided to face Morvan without caring for his life. Then we see that some of Gunnar's companions had fled from Morvan to another village, and they started begging him to open the gate to save their lives. When Wulfric saw Gunnar's men in the village again, he thought that this must be a trick of theirs, so he ordered his soldiers to attack. But in a few moments, Gunnar came running there. He had somehow saved his life from Morvan, and had also come with the intention of asking for help from the neighboring village. But Wulfric's soldiers continuously shot arrows and killed all of Gunnar's companions. In the end, only Gunnar survived. Kenan somehow stopped the soldiers and got the gates of the village opened so that Gunnar could come inside. As soon as Gunnar came inside, Wulfric was ready to kill him. But then everyone's attention fell on the blue light shining in the forest, and the light was tearing a man apart badly. In a few moments, the blue light turned red, which made Gunnar lose his life. Ravin's real terrifying form was revealed to everyone, and he ran away into the forest. Now everyone understood that Mervyn was behind these deadly attacks and not a bear. After this, the king gathered everyone in the great hall where Gunnar and Wulfric were still standing against each other. Gunnar said that when he swung his sword at Mervyn, it seemed as if he was hitting a stone wall. Then Keenan said that it is better to try to kill Mervyn in an open area. So they will have to lay a trap to catch Mervyn, but Wulfric was not ready for this. He said that Keenan is not from their planet, so they should not listen to him. Then Keenan said angrily that you do not have a brain. All your guesses are wrong. First you said that Bha attacked. Then you got the whole army of this poor Gunnar killed without any reason. Suddenly both of them started fighting, but the king freed them then. He agreed to Keenan and said that whatever he says will be done to catch Morwen. Then the next day people started making a trap outside the village. They dug a pit several meters deep and covered it from outside so that it looked like a normal hut. After, they put many poles in the pit and filled it completely with oil. Actually, they were definitely planning to burn Morwen to ashes by putting her in this pit. Finally, after all the work was done, the king gave Keenan a job in his house and with this Keenan also became a part of their village. After this we see that the soldiers who were attacked by Morwen last night, one of them opened his eyes and saw that he was surrounded by dead bodies, but at the same time, Mervyn killed him brutally. On the other hand, Keenan and Freya were drinking soup in his hut. Keenan told the real truth of his life. He said that the people of his planet wanted to rule the entire universe. When they reached Mervyn's planet to capture it, they killed all of their species by blasting a huge bomb. Then they hunted down the remaining Morvis. Keenan was also a part of this army. In return for going on this dangerous mission, his family was to be given a good place to live. After finally capturing Mervyn's planet, Keenan had to go on the next mission. Then he came to know that one Morven had survived. He hid in the vent of Keenan's spaceship. And this was the Sam Morven who came to Earth with Keenan, and now he is killing people here mercilessly. Keenan thought that Morven was responsible for all this. He is himself, but Freya explained to him that it was not his fault. Then he gave Keenan his family sword so that he can kill Morven with it and protect the people of the earth. Tonight, they were going to fall into Morven's trap with Gunnar's help. These soldiers opened the doors of the village, and then Wulfric and Keenan came out and waited for Morven to come. They could not see much in their dark, so Keenan threw a burning torch towards the forest, and then they saw that Morven was standing right in front of them. Then suddenly a priest came and stood in front of him, and he asked Morven to go back in the name of God, but Morven beheaded him in one stroke. Seeing this, Wulfric and Keenan immediately ran away so that Morven would follow them and get caught in the trap. Finally, their plan was successful and Morven waged in the pit, but unfortunately, Gunnar had told him that he had no hand in the attack on their village. Did he hate Gunnar because he killed his father? The king explained to him that all this happened because of his father's negligence. Gunnar was not at fault. Freya and Keenan were together. Freya asked him if he was the one who attacked the nearby village, but Keenan denied it. After this, he suddenly freed himself and attacked Freya and the guards and defeated them. Keenan was running away at midnight, but suddenly the enemy attack was announced. Soon the army of his village came to the battlefield because they thought that Gunnar was going to attack their village dot, but after coming out, they were surprised because there was no one there. They realized that their enemy was none other than a very dangerous animal which had already entered the village and started killing people. Now Keenan also ran after this animal. He killed the animal. When Keenan went in front of the king and called him Morvan, then it is revealed that he had come to hunt this dragon. Now Keenan was about to attack him when the soldiers caught him again at the right time and tied him to a stone. Then he remembered his planet again when Morevan's army attacked his planet and Keenan could not save his people. Well, then the next day we see that a small poor child gave a small part of his bread to Kenan. On the other hand, the villagers were trying to find out which terrible animal had attacked them last night. Then they brought Kenan in front of the king. Then the king asked Kenan about this dragon. Then Kenan told them that the name of this dragon is Morvan, and it had also attacked the people of Kenan's planet. Morvan often attracts his prey with light and then kills it badly. The reality is that Morvan had the power to disappear, and that she was hiding in Kenan's spaceship. Wulfric also slipped and fell into the pit. The doors outside also closed suddenly, leaving Wulfric trapped inside. The marksman was about to shoot a fire arrow into the pit and explode it, but Kenan pulled Wulfric out of the small place just in time. At the same moment, there was a huge explosion in the pit, which left everyone shocked. Then we see a new Morven come out from behind the group of women. Perhaps it was the child of the older Morven. On seeing him, there was chaos all around. But Freya decided to face him herself. Soon her father came to help her, but Morven knocked him down in one blow. Then suddenly the Morven from the pit also jumped out burning, and, in a very angry voice, she attacked him. Wulfric and Kenan tried to fight him together, but even they could not stand against him. Then Gunnar came to help them, but Morven cut off his head with a single dart of his tail and again ran towards the jungle. At the same time, Eric informed Kenan that there is another Morven who is being faced by Freya alone. Kenan immediately ran to help her, but on reaching there he saw that Freya was crying with her father's dead body in her arms. Then Kenan encouraged her. Then the next day we see that all the villagers were leaving the village in fear of Morven. Eric told Kenan that he wanted to stay with him in the village, but Kenan explained to him that this area is not safe now, so he should go with the rest of the villagers in a boat. He promised Eric that they will definitely meet again. Then Kenan went to Wulfric after the death of the king. Wulfric was the next king, but he was very disappointed seeing the destruction all around. Then Kenan encouraged him and said that both of them will together finish Mervyn so that the villagers can live happily once again. Then Kenan gave Boromir the responsibility of making new weapons. After this, he went to the pond with Freya and Wulfric where his spaceship had crashed. And then he went into the depths of the water to search for things of his use. During this, he suddenly saw Mervyn in the pond. He immediately came out of the water, but the boat in which they had come was completely broken. Wulfric was lying unconscious on it, and there was no trace of Freya. On the other hand, Boromir was busy making a new spear. Soon Kenan came there and took the spear from him and entered a well where a secret path went under the ground. His companions also followed him, and they started moving forward slowly. On the other hand, when Freya opened her eyes in a cave, she got very frightened because she was lying in a pile of dead bodies. As soon as she tried to run away from here, Mervyn came in front of her. But then she heard the arrival of Kenan and his companions. He got a hint of the attack and left Freya to search for them. Kenan and his companions entered the cave where they were faced with a pit full of boiling lava. Soon Morven attacked them. Kenan and his companions also started fighting her without caring for their lives. They killed the younger Morven, but in the meantime the other Morven killed Boromir. When Freya got up, a wounded Morven came in front of her. He was unable to see now and started trying to find Freya only through sound. Kenan and Wulfric were calling Freya from the other side of the wall. Hearing their voice, Mervyn attacked at the same place, and Freya saved her life by jumping just in time. Now due to the attack, a small hole was created in the wall, and Freya had to go over it to reach Kenan. But the hole was too small, so Kenan gave Freya the spear, and Freya killed Morven with a powerful blow. Finally, Freya and Kenan were together once again, but instead of being happy, they were looking at the pile of corpses in the cave, which made both of them bleed. Then they heard Morven coming, and they ran, and then Mervyn came there and saw that her son was dead. Then she got angry and thirsted for the blood of Kenan and his companions. On the other hand, Wulfric, Kenan and Freya ran from the cave and reached the top of a hill, but it was very difficult to get out from here because their feet were slipping on the hill. Freya tried to get down, but her foot slipped, and at the right time Kenan caught her hand and saved her. Meanwhile, Mervyn suddenly came there and attacked Wulfric. Then Mervyn picked up Wulfric and threw him at Kenan and went back into the cave. Kenan took his sword and went after him and cut Mervyn's leg. He saw blood flowing in front of him. Then we see that Mervyn was about to pounce on Kenan from behind when at the right time Freya attacked Mervyn from behind. Kenan turned at the same time and attacked Mervyn continuously, but Mervyn dragged him to the top of the hill while Freya was holding him from behind. Kenan picked up his sword and with one last attack cut off Mervyn's hand, due to which he fell into a deep ditch. After this, both of them went to Wulfric, who was badly injured. He asked if Mervyn was dead. Freya and Kenan agreed. Now he and Freya were very proud of Kenan's bravery. Finally he died. Wulfric gave his locket to Kenan, which meant that after Wulfric, Kenan would be the next king. After this, he gave the good news of Mervyn's death to all the villagers, and then Kenan kissed Freya. By marrying Freya, Kenan became the new king of the village, and he adopted Eric. Now Kenan stayed here forever with his new family on Earth. If you like the video, then like it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.